Suddenly I felt a very cold feeling in my legs and I was being yanked out of my bed and I was fucking so scared. Hey guys, today's video is going to be story time. I'm going to tell you guys a story of something that happened to me while I was in Ethiopia. You see, I suffer from something called sleep paralysis, which means that when I am sleeping, I sometimes become paralyzed. And this is very normal for me, especially when I'm sleeping alone. If I sleep alone, I am most likely going to get sleep paralysis. But while I was in Ethiopia, not only was I alone, but I was in a well-known haunted guest room. The maids told me that strange things happened in this guest room, and this is where I was staying. There's videos of this in my blogging channel, Nick and All in Raw, which some of you might have seen already. I basically talk about the same story, but I'm going to tell it to you guys on this channel. So after a long day of work in the field, teaching people about pruning, grafting, etc., different things you do with tropical fruit trees, I went to my room, very tired. I was sick at the time. My microscopic polyangiitis gives me different symptoms from time to time, and I was feeling them particularly strongly that day. So I went to my room very tired and I went into rest and to make my lesson plan for the next day. I did my lesson plan for a few hours, then night comes. Lo and behold, time goes flying and it's 3 a.m. and I'm like, oh shit, I stayed up past midnight. This is not good. You see, I'm from a very superstitious country. Colombia is full of superstition, and a lot of people believe in Colombia that 12 a.m. and 3:33 a.m. are the hour of the spirits or whatever. And these are the hours when spirits are most active and when you see the most weird, freaky shit happening. So it was 3 a.m. and I was freaking out. So I just started messaging Nicholas on my phone and I started talking to him for a few minutes. The internet sucked in Ethiopia, so each message would take like 2 minutes to send. So that was basically me sending him messages and waiting for them to send. I left all the lights on, because I was scared. I was basically waiting for it to be 4 a.m. so I could go to sleep for 2 hours because I had to wake up at 6 a.m. anyways to go work. So I was just waiting it out, but then suddenly at 3:33 I saw it on my phone. The lights all went out and my phone shut down. I swear, I'm not making this shit up. My phone shut down. As soon as my phone shut off, I grabbed onto the railings like instinctively, and then I got fucking paralyzed. The only thing I could move was my eyeballs, which is the weirdest feeling you can ever get in your life. Very freaky. And you try to scream, but nothing comes out. It's like you're screaming in your head and no one hears you. This is what I felt at that very moment. And then suddenly I felt a very cold feeling in my legs and I was being yanked out of my bed and I was fucking so scared. I don't know how I didn't faint. I was freaking out and I couldn't move because of my sleep paralysis, and this thing was dragging me out of my bed and it was freezing cold. I'm agnostic. I don't follow a particular religion, but I started begging my grandmother, who passed away a few years ago, to come and help me. I do this from time to time when I'm in trouble, when I feel like I'm in danger or something, when I'm going to a dangerous part of the world. I always ask my grandmother for help because it's something that makes me feel comfortable. This time was no different. I asked my grandmother for help. I was crying on the inside and begging for her help. Suddenly, I saw a white light because, my eyes were open. So I saw a white light that just flashed, but it wasn't in front of me. Like, when someone turns on the light behind you and you can see the light, but it's not in front of you. That's basically what I saw. And then I felt a warmth around my legs and the pulling suddenly stopped and the lights came back. My phone was still off. When I pressed the turn on button, it turned back on. So I was basically extremely scared and I didn't go back to sleep at all. I basically went to work and taught the students with no sleep and fucking mentally traumatized. This is by far one of the freakiest things that has happened to me, but let me tell you, a lot of freaky things have happened to me because of my sleep paralysis. I have experienced a lot of freaky shit, but this is definitely up there, okay? This was so fucking scary. The feeling of being yanked out of your bed and not being able to move is very scary, especially when you're in a guest room that's away from anybody. The guest room was probably like a good 20-minute walk from the nearest guest room. It's insane how big Ethiopia is and how spread apart things are in Ethiopia, especially in the rural area, which is where I was. I was in the Great Rift Valley. This is one of my stories with sleep paralysis. If any of you have sleep paralysis, please share your stories in the comments area so that other people can see that I'm not the only one that gets this. I've researched it. A lot of people get this. There's actually a famous painting that shows the incubus, which is like a thing that sits on your chest that doesn't let you breathe. that used to harass maidens in the olden days. So a painter made it and it's called The Nightmare. And it's the epitome of sleep paralysis. It's basically the perfect description for what happens during sleep paralysis. You can't move. Sometimes you feel like something's on your chest. And apparently some people get what I got, which is the feeling of someone janking on your legs. There's no conclusive theory as to what it actually is. There's lots of theories, but none are conclusive. Sleep paralysis is a real thing. It's very scary. If you ever get sleep paralysis, you will not be able to go to sleep at all at night. It's very difficult. If you can, kudos for you. You're very brave. Very scary stuff. So anyways, if you like my story time, then please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to share this video so that more people can hear about sleep paralysis. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I make videos every day. I am waiting for my boyfriend to get back from his world tour. And we will be making videos together again pretty soon. Well, in like 3 or 4 months. Thank you so much for watching my video. And don't forget to sleep with your blankets on, people. Those ghosts might get your legs. Bye!